Hello and welcome to the 2010 Villagers Podcast, episode 7. Now, as you can see, there's only two of us tonight.
Just the two of us tonight?
Yeah, just the two of us. I think you've got an explanation as to why, haven't you, Ash?
So, Jack last night got dropped off by our good friend James, in Carekeller somewhere, and as he was walking to his house, a group of 4 10-year-old boys on their push bikes came up to our friend Jack and kidnapped him. Turns out they're from Emley. They're not happy with us, are they, the people of Emley? So he's been kidnapped by the people of Emley for our comments last week. So please, people of Emley, don't give him us back. We're happy without him. No joking. Give him us back. We need him back.
God,
obviously he's not been kidnapped.
All joking aside, he's on official club duty tonight at the FA Youth Cup tie at Halifax, and obviously we wish the lads all the best. That's just got underway, that game, as we're kicking off. That's a big occasion for them at the Shea. But yes, as you said, Ash, I think we need to start with an apology because we upset some people from Emley. I heard the Ofcom switchboards were lighting up last Thursday or Friday when the video went out.
At least our views went up.
Yeah. I mean, thanks lads. You've got us some publicity, and
cheers.
Unfortunately, Ofcom decided that we're allowed to stay on. So
because we did nothing wrong.
Because we're going to carry on regardless. So,
so if
we look forward to seeing you in January. If you want us to make a photocopy of the team sheet for you to put on your dressing room door, just let us know.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll get on with the serious stuff. So we'll start with the news, and we have got a bit of news to talk about this week. So we're going to keep banging the drum, even though it's not at Ferriby's level, because it means a lot to us, it means a lot to all football fans, and this is the ongoing let fans in. It's getting quite ridiculous now, in my opinion, that we can't have football fans in at elite level, which is National League North and South upwards. As we speak tonight, just before we came on air, there's been over 173,000 signatures.
Fantastic.
On the petition. Well done, everyone. Keep sharing that, keep going. Obviously, now it's at that sort of level, it's getting sort of Parliament level now, they're going to have to do something about it. Also, very interestingly, I've just seen that the Premier League, the EFL and the FA have all shared it and are all getting behind it. And I think quite rightly so. I mean, when Boris Johnson can seriously sit there the other day and say, encourage people to go to the cinema because the cinema industry's dying. Well, if you can go inside to the cinema and watch a film, or as Adrian Durham said on TalkSport, you can watch football games in a cinema.
Started to stream them in there, right?
Yeah. But you can't be socially distanced in an outdoor football stadium. To me, it's quite frankly ridiculous.
11,000 people, wasn't it, at Borussia Dortmund on Saturday?
Yeah.
Perfectly fine. It's ridiculous now. Come on, Boris, what are you doing?
With the quality of stadium we've got, we need to take from the Germans. They're doing brilliantly well over there. Like Ash quite rightly said, 11,000 people at Dortmund, which in reality is probably about an eighth of their usual attendance. But 11,000 is still massive for them, and you could scale it all the way down to the National League North, and something has to be done about this because. Seeing teams having to play checkered trade, Johnston paint, whatever trophy matches with nobody there. What is the point for these clubs?
It was interesting, okay? Cambridge played a game with fans. It was a trial game. Be interesting to see what figures came out of there, how many people in there actually contracted coronavirus. Brighton played Chelsea in a pre-season friendly. One stand had fans in. Again, is there a massive uptake in cases in Brighton because of that one game? We're just not making sense. There is no consistency from the government message on this. Let fans in, Boris. Do what's right. Oliver Dowden, you're useless. You haven't got a clue. Okay? Let's bring somebody who's got a clue, who knows how much sport means to this country. It's just ridiculous. It doesn't make sense.
And how many cases have we seen? How many stories have we heard of there being mass outbreaks at non-league games? There hasn't been any.
I haven't seen any.
So it's not good, and something needs to change. So get on with it, please, Boris, because it's all right. And I've got nothing against the cinema industry. It's just the fact they're getting compared and picked on because of what Boris said the other day. Yeah. And if we can try and prop that industry up, then you've got to help sport out as well.
Well, if you look at the lockdown clappers on Twitter, they'd hate it, wouldn't they? Yeah. Fans being in.
They would.
God forbid people are allowed to have a bit of fun these days. Piers Morgan, that's aimed at you.
I'm sure.
He was a disgrace this morning on Good Morning Britain, by the way.
I'm sure he's watching, his peers. Right, so I'm going to hand over to you now.
Well, I ain't got much today.
For Jeff.
Okay, last night, Easthull 0, Harrogate Railway 2. Easthull crashing back down to earth. Emily 3, Dronfield 0, well done Emily. Glasshoughton 2, Ferriby 3, Rossington 1, Nostell 2, Selby 0, Armthorpe 4. Wow, the slump continues. And then Skegness and Swalness was postponed due to, I believe, coronavirus symptoms.
Among the Swallowness players.
Swallowness camps, yeah. And tonight we've got across the bridge, Winterton versus Parkgate. In terms of a table, Emily are top on 13 points, having played one more game than Campion, who are in second on 12. Glasshoughton, Weresborough and Selby all without points still. Top goal scorer is Kieran Watson of Hallam, 7 goals, and I'll put this in there because it's a bit of fun. The average attendance table, basically you can guess who's top.
I think it might be Brig.
Have another guess.
Obviously it's us.
Us with 300.
300 again, because we're selling out every week.
You know what that is, Sam? That is a 15.97% decrease on our average attendance from last season. So, open up! We could get 500 in every week.
We could
Pissing about with 300.
We'll talk about it later, but this week we could have got more than 500.
Pissing up about 300. We're too big time for that. I'm joking, obviously.
Do you have the figure for bottom of that league?
No, but I can find it.
Did Non-Stop play this week?
You know what, Sam? I realise I'm away here. I didn't look.
Oh God. Well, while we're doing that, I will just have my 2 pennies worth on that. Obviously, we had a bit of a joke last week, and you know, nothing on this is too serious. Obviously, Emily are looking like they're a decent side, and fair play, and another home win last night. But the more interesting ones for me, you said about the wheels falling off at Easthull, but I think Harrogate have made a good start.
They are now 6.
Compared to where they were last season. I mean, both Harrogate and Easthull have made good starts compared to... They were both rock bottom. I mean, Easthull were really rock bottom, but they were, right at the bottom last year. And the other really interesting one is Selby. I mean, they got battered at home by Armthorpe, who, by all accounts, had 0 points before last night, and are obviously not a great side. The wheels have completely come off the wagon at Selby.
It's a mess. That club is a mess.
It's worrying times for them, really worrying times for them. I'm not complaining because we assumed they were going to be right up there with Ferriby again, as they were. Well, they were above us last season. So worrying times for them.
I found the figures, by the way.
Oh yes.
Easthull, 73 average. The league average is 145, which is up 11.54%.
Jesus. And how much are we propping that up by having 300 every year?
Well, we're on 300. Hallam, to be fair, are on 291. Emily on 208. Rossington on 204. And then you've got a lot of hundreds. Then there's Campion, Hall Road, Armthorpe, Nostell and Easthull in the single figures.
Wow.
They're double figures, rather.
Well, we mentioned them there. Another piece of news we suppose we'll have to talk about is... We won't go into his social media posts on Friday evening because the budget doesn't stretch to a court case, but we will talk...
It's not fair on us to comment on that.
No, it's not. But what we can comment on from a footballing point of view is that he has announced that he's stepping down as chairman of Easthull.
Actually, mean Mr. Waltham.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Waltham, yeah.
So, that's got to be a little bit worrying for them.
You think so?
Whatever you say about Waltham,
they
need to now find somebody, and quick.
Yeah, you've got to hope that they do. We all know who we want to be the main man. T-shirts will be available soon for #KevRev for chairman. Let's get it. Let's get
well, he does everything else at that club, doesn't he? He might as well be the chairman.
KevRev runs that club. He's a good man, he's KevRev, and I hope,
He's passionate, isn't he?
He's a passionate man, KevRev, and he loves local football. To be fair, if KevRev took charge of Easthull, that would be a great victory for local football.
It probably would.
Yep, so KevRev for chairman.
But yes, that will be an interesting one to see how that develops.
Yes, and also the ground move as well.
The ground move as well, the development at Rosemead Street, is it? Yes. Yeah.
Really, they'll officially be in East Hull. They'll be like Ronstill. Says what it does on the
They'll be back on the right side of the river for them. Yeah. Right. We've got a couple of Ferriby games to discuss. So, gave me a birthday present last night, did the lads. Had a very enjoyable birthday, thanks to Ash and Jack and Dan. We had a great day, and obviously good to see everyone. Really great following from Ferriby last night at Glasshoughton.
I'd love to know what the percentage was.
I would say at least 85.
Yeah.
Maybe even more.
But it makes you wonder how clubs like that can survive.
I know, because you're not going to get Ferriby coming every week. Yeah, and that's not us saying we're big time or whatever.
This isn't what we're saying. We're saying that we are a well-supported club who will travel well.
Yeah.
We're not boasting. We're speaking facts here. We're not talking nonsense. If people think we're talking nonsense, then they're thinking nonsense.
Yeah. But obviously Ferriby, first away win of the season, and about time too. 3-2 win. God, I mean, Jack said it in his interview with Chris last night, and we'll trot the cliche out again. Game of two halves.
Definitely.
First half, we were outstanding. There's no other word for it. We bossed that game from the first minute. We were quite deservedly 3-0 up at half time. It could have been more. There's a few players in particular who I would like to pick out and mention. And I'm going to start again with Jamie Forrester.
Outstanding again.
Outstanding. The quality of that guy, he's fantastic. Like I said on the Twitter account last night, water is wet and Jamie Forrester scores free kicks. It just happens. It's
costing me a lot of money.
He's costing you a fortune, in fairness, and it's costing him, but it's costing himself it as well.
Well, he's getting a free kick at the edge of the area, and we all just tear around open and go,
well, we were all saying to you, get the padlock off your wallet, here it comes. Yeah.
But he's obviously, I would rather him be scoring than not scoring.
No, he was good, but also in midfield, I've got to give a big rap to Joe Shortland.
I think that was the best I've seen the lad play.
Yeah, he was very good, especially in the first half.
He was everywhere.
Really well.
Some good passes in there.
Yeah.
Ran his socks off, did Joel Shortland last night.
Because in fairness, Louis Kirk's probably been arguably our player of the year so far. Yeah. Maybe edged out by Forrester, and obviously he was missing last night. But I thought Shortland filled that gap quite well.
He did.
He did play well.
He played his heart out last night, did Joel Shortland, and fair play to him coming in and filling in for Kirk. He did a really good job. And
another one, just making his way back to fitness. We saw half an hour of him on Saturday. We saw a full half of him last night. And God, he looks a player. Lee Hutchinson. Glasshoughton, they couldn't get near him. He scared them to death. He got his goal, but he caused havoc all half. And
brilliant passes all game. Well, the first half, he was only on first half, wasn't he? But brilliant passes. He was a handful. He's a little warrior, isn't he, as well?
Yeah, he is.
He's a niggly
He won't take no rubbish off centre backs, will he?
And you know what? I think we'd be missing that this season. Somebody who isn't afraid to have a bit of a battle.
Yeah, he's got something a little bit different to our other two strikers. That's nothing against our other two strikers, it's just something a little bit different.
He's a little pit bull, isn't he?
He is.
Well, and he took his good header, really, I think.
And I thought Buttle ran his blood to water again in the first half.
Everyone in the first half did. The first half was just poetry.
Yeah.
As Liam Gallagher would say, it was biblical.
It was, and
it was amazing.
We were all on a massive high, and then, unfortunately, and as Chris admitted himself after the game, the second half just wasn't good enough. No. And we should never have come away from that game. I won't really say we were hanging on, because there wasn't long enough left, and they didn't really create another chance when they got it back to 3-2. But we should never have let it get to 3-2. I mean, alright, it should have been 4-2. I mean, the referee farcically blowing his whistle when Tom Corner was through on goal, right at the end, which I don't even get that. And let's not go down referees, but
he's not here today.
Fair to say, once again, not great.
It's a good job he ain't here, because he's like a tomato right now.
I know. But yeah, something just... We had them round the throat first half.
Well, what was we saying?
And we let them off.
5 or 6.
Quite easily. And, Glasshoughton in the first half were poor.
They were
poor. I mean, the goalkeeper was not great. I'm not going to be too harsh, he's a young kid playing football, but he made a couple of mistakes, as people have seen.
Although he did make a couple of good saves from Tillo.
Yes.
Give him that.
Yeah, Tillo, I think he's a striker.
Yeah.
But then second half, in fairness to them,
they battled.
They came out, they battled. They were not going to lay down and let it be 4-5-6.
No.
And unfortunately, Ferriby again, we found ourselves sat on the edge of our own box, not getting out of our half. One scramble in the box, and suddenly it's 3-1, and they've got a sniff.
Yeah.
And then they ended up getting the penalty.
Luckily, that penalty was in the 90th.
Yeah, exactly. The penalty was too. They left it just a little bit too late for them. But it would have been very interesting to see if that game had gone another 10 minutes. Because they had the bit between the teeth, and they thought that they could get something out of the game. And people think we're down on all these teams. I'm not going to be down on Glasshout. And
no,
a lot of teams would have rolled over and thought, let's think about Saturday at 3-0 at half time.
They came out and battled.
They did
well. They did well.
But for us, we need 90-minute performances.
Yeah. Well, we stood there, weren't we, behind that goal, second half, and we just said, here we go again. Yeah. Second half. We all just looked at each other and went, what is happening in the second half? Why is it, second half, we just sit and just let teams come at us? We can't do that.
No.
We cannot do that.
Not
can't do it.
Especially when we play better teams. With respect to Glasshout and with the likes of Northwich, who we've got coming up on Saturday, we're going to have to go at it for 90 minutes. I don't know what it is, but they know that there's a thing. Like I said, Boulder said last night, and
another thing that I've just realised: last minute goals.
Yes, goals in stoppage time. It's been a little bit of a feature. That's another thing we need to get out of our game. At the end of the day, like was said, it's a results business. We've got
the 3 points.
We were worried about our away form. We got the 3 points. We probably had the game won at half time, but
that's fair.
We just need to get out of this habit of letting teams come on to us in the second half.
It's strange because I don't think anyone's got an answer for it. Have to really. We was all talking about it last night, and you can't pinpoint what is going on. What's making it like that? Is it complacency? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's again, it's an interesting one. It's one we're gonna, there's always time to improve. I know, we're still early days, and hopefully they do improve. We
are third in the team.
We are, yes, we are. We're getting back up there. We're back on the 2 points a game average. But we need to keep pushing on. Obviously, games keep flying in at the minute. We've actually got Tuesday off next week.
I think that's going to do us a world of good, having that Tuesday off.
Yeah, and maybe a bit of a distraction from the league as well this weekend. And
we're at home the next few Tuesday nights. As fun as these away games have been on a Tuesday, home games on a Tuesday, different animal, isn't it?
Well, I think I'm right in saying that we're the only team that's had this pattern of 3 consecutive Tuesday nights away. Some of the fixture scheduling in this league is baffling.
Yeah.
I mean, alright, they've not been massive long trips because nowhere really is in this league apart from Skegness maybe, but it's still a lot to ask a team to travel 3 Tuesdays in a row.
It makes sense if one of them was at East Hull or Winterton or a Hall Road on a Tuesday, but to make us go to Harrogate, which is a fair trip.
Yeah.
Emley's not the easiest.
No.
I mean, last night's fine.
Glasshout is fairly easy, in fairness.
It's not bad, is it? But it doesn't make sense.
No.
In my opinion.
And
then we've got Rossington on Tuesday coming up as well.
Yes, but after a couple of Tuesday home games, which will be good. So we'll look back now to Saturday, which was almost a carbon copy of the Saturday before, in the fact that it was supremely comfortable. We looked so comfortable. We beat Dronfield 3-0, and that result was just a foregone conclusion.
Yeah. As soon as that game kicked off, you could tell there was a gulf, wasn't there, between the two teams.
Yeah, there was.
It was comfortable. We just controlled the game first half, and then second half. At times, I thought we was better second half against Dronfield than we were last night. But there were times we was camped on our box again. We did score in the second half against Dronfield, which is good. But it was just easy, wasn't it? It was just an easy Saturday.
What I will say about it, a couple of things to pick out, is it was great to see Kirky get on the score sheet.
It was.
And he did really well for his goal.
Yeah, good finish.
and we take the mick out of him and things about, not having shots and stuff, but, he's had a great start to the season. And it was really pleasing to see him score. Yeah. Great header from Tillo off the bar.
That was a proper
centre-back's header, that one.
Came out of nowhere, and thumping header right on the bar in the net. Love it.
And then the third goal was just another bit of Forrester magic.
I'm trying to think who scored the third. It was Forrester.
It was a good layoff from Phillips to get it back to him at the edge of the box. And it was just a great finish. But we're gonna. Let's face it, we're not being cocky, but we're going to have a lot of home games like that.
Yeah.
It's just the reality of, when we go to somewhere like Glasshoughton, who let's face it, they don't have the greatest pitch in the world, right? Compared to Ferriby, we can play our natural game on that pitch, and we look so much better at home. There's not that much to say about the game, but what we will say is we're going to give a shout out now to a fan of the show, a friend of the show.
I bet he's actually watching.
I hope he is.
He probably is.
Now, the referee on Saturday was Adam Shimin, and he also refereed the Gainsborough friendly and clearly watched the podcast the week after and wasn't very happy with us because he said, here's my fan club on Saturday when he saw me and Jack.
It would have been Jack who said all the stuff. Not me, not you.
In fairness, he did point me out. He did say you was having a go as well. He said you both called me shit and whatever. So, but we had a good laugh with him actually afterwards. He's a good lad. And do you know what, Adam? You had a great game on Saturday. I'm going to say that. And do you know what else? You saved me £2 on the forfeits because you didn't book Hutch when you could have done.
That should have been a yellow card.
That was probably his only mistake. There was the penalty call as well. But
although I said at the time, I can see why he didn't give it because it looked like the ball was going out when he was kicked. I could see why he didn't give it, and we scored 2 minutes later anyway.
Yeah, but yeah. You had a good game, Adam. Cheers for having a word with us after.
We'll probably see you at some point during the season.
Glad that you're a fan of the show. So we hope to see you down at Ferriby again soon. Right, moving on. It's time for the forfeits.
I've left my wallet at home.
He's left his wallet at home, and do you know what? I actually, I'm not going to have a go at him because I feel quite sorry for you, really, with what Jamie Forrester's doing to you.
I put a lot of money in that tin so far. How much do I owe next week?
You're on £6 at the moment.
That's not too bad.
Forrester's got 2 goals, plus Forrester clean sheet and Levi clean sheet against Dronfield. I'm putting £3 in. That is for Lee Hutchinson's clean sheet against Dronfield and his goal last night against Glasshoughton.
It must feel strange for you putting something in that tin.
I know, it doesn't happen very often.
It doesn't.
And Jack, I think he owes £4 from
That's
Saturday.
why he's not here, because he's got to pay this week.
He's got to pay this week. I know Loz haven't bailed him out, so that's probably why he's not here. Next up, what you've all been waiting for, Super 6 update. It's hotting up at the top.
We need some music.
It's getting close. We do. We need some dramatic music for this. Yeah. At some point before this weekend, I'll send a full update out to the members. We're having a weekend off this weekend
no fixtures for the Vase.
because it's the FA Vase, and it's taking me ages to fill the spreadsheet and every week.
Are we doing next Tuesday, seeing as though we're not playing?
I think when Ferriby aren't playing, we'll leave it. So we're going to leave it till next Saturday now. Yeah. We'll have a bit of a break from it.
Give you time to do some research on the league table and trends.
Yes. What I will say now is in joint third place currently on 20 points we have Mark Layton and Eastall Pete Fleming. On 21 in second place, so just 1 point more, we've got Matthew Kempson. And in first place on 22, so again only another 1 point more, is Mr. Mark Chesney. Now, we're never going to wait the end of this on Saturday, are we?
No.
Oh, he'll be loving it.
No. That means he's now got a very long period at the top, Sam. Are we sure we don't want to do fixtures?
we're going to have to let him have it for a couple of weeks. In fairness to Mark, he had a great week on Saturday where he got 3 correct scores and a correct outcome.
Wasn't he near the bottom?
He was.
Saturday.
And so was Mark Layton, and in fairness on Saturday he also got 10 points. He got 2 correct scores and 4 correct outcomes. So Mark Layton became the first player this season to get at least 1 point from all 6 games in a game.
Well done, Mark.
So well done, Mark, for that. So it's really hotting up at the top. I mean, there's not much of a gap between first and last, to be honest. So it's going really well. We're getting everyone's entries in every week. So thanks everyone. We're enjoying doing it.
I'm glad people are getting involved.
Yeah. And there's been some unpredictable results that are getting thrown in there as well.
I think Eastall starts throwing people off.
Yes.
Selby's start
Definitely
throwing people off, and our away form are throwing people off at the start as well.
It has done. Right. Pies, pints and pissers.
Or pints and pissers as we're going to call it this week.
Yes, unfortunately we've got a bit of a disclaimer this week. It was my birthday yesterday, as you probably all know by now, because I keep banging on about it. We went to Estebulo in Beverley.
And we couldn't eat another
we ate enough food to last 3 weeks.
Well, I don't think Jack's recovered yet, has he?
No, Jack was slightly ill afterwards, we'll say. But we filled up there, so unfortunately we didn't sample any food at Glasshoughton last night. Now what we will say before we do this review is Glasshoughton is part of a council run facility, so the clubhouse wasn't open last night, but that's through no fault of Glasshoughton's.
You can't blame him.
So we're not marking him down on that. They had catering facilities to the best of their ability. They got on with it. There was refreshments for everybody. There was alcohol. It was only in cans, but they didn't have a bar to operate. They
didn't have to sell alcohol, and they did. So fair play, Glasshoughton.
So what we're going to do, we're going to score Glasshoughton out of 20, and then take that as a percentage to add into the final league table at the end. So the pints, I'm going to give them a 6. I can't really go more than a 6 because it was only cans, but again, there was not a lot they could do about it. No. There was a decent variety there, and there was all the other drinks that you'd expect.
Give them a 7.
Oh, go on then.
Give them a 7.
Go on then. We'll try and make ourselves a little.
The cup of tea was nice. That gives you an extra score.
Right. Okay.
An extra point.
We'll go for 7 then, and then the toilets.
Luxury.
This has got to be a 9 or a 10.
Luxury. Although Sam, I must say, there was no COVID tape.
No, but there was a one-way system.
What's that?
In and out of the toilets.
Yep. Give him a 9.
9.
Give him a 9.
So you've got 16 out of 20, which isn't bad at all, really, is it?
It's not.
It was we enjoyed ourselves. It was a good night.
It was actually.
It's good to see a lot of Ferriby fans there.
There were a lot of regulars, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was a lot of regulars, and we had a good night, and good luck to Glasshoughton for the rest of the season. Obviously, apart from when it was
a nice club actually. I was impressed with the place. I was really impressed.
Yeah, everyone who works there, they're
all friendly.
Yeah, they were.
It's a proper non-league club, really. Full of volunteers. It's what you love to see, really. But Sam, remember, we're just negative towards the Counties League.
Oh no,
we would never say anything positive about the Counties League. We're just so negative. Yawn.
Yeah, no, we're everyone. I couldn't believe it last week. Everyone hates us. Anyway, right. Well, this is going to be interesting, seeing as there's only me. But
you should be all right.
Would you like to see how good my brain is then on the quiz?
Yeah. Bear in mind, these are just done about 10 minutes ago. Right. Okay. So first question. We went into our 2013-14 season finale. So the last game of the season, with an outside chance of promotion if we won and Telford lost. We lost that game, but who beat us? I can't remember the score.
Was it Boston?
No.
Oh God.
They begin with a B.
Begin with a B.
Yeah. Red and white.
Red and white begin with B. I'm going to kick myself. But...
Brackley.
Oh, God.
Brackley.
How many times have I been there as well? That's poor from me, that.
Okay. What was similar about both goals in the 2012 Dewton Cup final? In normal time. What was the 2 goals in normal time? What was similar about them?
One for each side.
Yeah.
Were they both penalties?
They were, Sam. Who scored our penalty?
You see, the obvious answer is Bradshaw, but I don't think it was. Was it Chris Balder?
No.
Oh, was it Bradshaw then?
Russell Fry. We'll pause because my guess, the 3 missing players, is from that cup final.
Oh God, right, we're going right. And just a side note, I believe I'm right in saying that's the first day we ever met Jack.
Oh. infamous day that listen.
I'm pretty sure that's true.
It was. You talked to him and he came and stood with us.
Yeah. So it all started there. What a day. We won't say whether that's a good or a bad thing. We'll let you work that out for yourselves.
That is a good
but yeah, I do believe that's a little fact about that game.
It is. Yeah. I'm sure this will pop up on memory lane as well at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, it will.
But okay, so Adam Nicklin was in goal.
Of course.
Who was at right back?
Steve Gardner.
Well done. Okay, centre half was Paul Foot and Greg Anderson. Nathan Pete was at left back. Wayne Brooksby, Russell Fry. Who was next to Russell Fry in the middle?
Chris Boulder.
Yeah. Tim Taylor, Danny Clark, Gary Bradshaw. That was the starting 11. On the bench, Sam Belcher, James Williams.
Yes.
Sam Denton, Steve Wilson, and who else?
Was it Lee Morris?
No. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I've been quite harsh. He was only a young kid at the time.
Only a young kid at the time.
Must have been very young.
Louis Bruce.
No.
Dean Lyles. You'll have to tell me.
Lewis Kirk.
Oh, Lewis Kirk? Really?
Yeah.
Wow. God, he must have been a young kid.
Very young kid at the time, yeah.
What's that, 8 years ago?
2012, yeah. 8 years.
Gee. Wow, I never ever would have got that.
Didn't come on. I can't remember who came on. James Williams came on.
James Williams did come on.
That was the only sub we made.
In 120 minutes. How Billy Heath was that?
Textbook Billy.
That was great, that game. We won't go too much because, like I say, it might come up later on.
And then, can I just show everybody memory lane today?
That's how much prep you've done.
Yeah.
But we have, saying you've done no prep, we have done a link. So obviously...
Yeah. We need to apologise because we did say it'd be Macclesfield this week.
Yeah, we did.
And then Jesus came to me in my sleep and said, don't do Macclesfield this week, do it next week.
We need to be fair, the story of Macclesfield doesn't really work without Jack.
It doesn't.
We need him to be here to tell that story.
We decided, didn't we, that we'd look at a very relevant game, since we're playing a certain team from Cheshire on Saturday. So Sam, I'll let you introduce memory lane this week.
Right, so for this week's trip down memory lane, I'm ashamed to say I can't remember the year, but...
2011.
Right, 2011.
October, I think.
It was a trip to Northwich Victoria, so there's your link, because that's who we're playing on Saturday in the FA Vase.
Yeah.
It was also, incidentally, a good trivia question, it was also Billy Heath's
The Messiah.
first ever game
The Messiah's
in charge
first
of
game,
North Ferriby United. So we were in a little bit of trouble at that point, weren't we, when Billy came in?
Yeah, we weren't doing very well.
No.
To say the least.
Was it early-ish on in the season?
Yeah, John Anderson got sacked, didn't he? Or did he resign?
I think he resigned.
He resigned, and then we was thinking, what's going on? We was looking at teams in the MPL Division 1, thinking of trips to goal and teams like that. And then in came the Messiah to save us. He got a lot of sticks, to be fair to him, on a Northern Premier League group. People saying, why are you hiring that man?
Well, not a lot of people liked him.
No, well,
he came from Frickley, didn't he?
We got it from Hall Road.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
We played them in the Senior Cup final, I don't remember.
Yes.
You're not going to go at Ron.
Yeah. Yes.
We thought, who's this loud mouth?
Yeah.
But no, fair play to Billy in his smart suit, turned up.
Obviously, I think it's fair to say, the rest, as they say, is history.
But he didn't get off to the best start, did he? Was it 2-0?
Yes. We weren't very good at all. There was only me and you there out of the usual crowd, wasn't there?
Yeah. To be fair to Billy, it wasn't his team at that point. He did buy Peter David. He bought Peter Davidson in on the Friday, and he played.
How do you remember that?
And then, I'm trying to remember stuff about the game, but I can't actually remember.
Well, I know we were poor, and obviously the memorable incident for us is...
Oh yes, you broke a seat.
I broke a seat, apologies.
Don't tell them that, they'll be asking for money on
Apologies,
Saturday.
Northwich, but I broke one of the
Sorry, we don't play that.
I broke one of the seats in your old ground because he didn't bring James Williams on, who we've mentioned...
Can you remember who he brought on instead?
You're digging these holes for me tonight. I'm not,
He didn't play many games for us, I don't think.
Go on.
It was a midfielder, John Leonard.
Jeez.
Don't ask me who came off.
But for people who don't know, James Williams was my first favourite Ferriby player. I don't know why, I just liked him. Young blonde-haired lad at right back.
He always tried hard.
And tried hard, but he didn't stay very long, did he, at Ferriby?
I was surprised he was still there towards the end of the Lucent Cup.
Yeah.
To be honest.
But yeah, I liked him and he didn't bring him on, so I was saying, oh, who's this idiot who appointed and all this, because I'm known for coming out with genius comments like that. Because as we all know what happened later on with Billy. Were we on the bus?
We was on the bus. We were sat behind Billy and he was on the bus and he said, Clark is coming with me. Clark is done. And he was talking about the other players who were signing. We brought in Danny Clark, obviously. Alex Davidson came back. Can't remember. He brought one more in. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah. But, wow, bringing back Danny Clark, an inspired signing. Obviously, still working with him now.
Yeah, it goes everywhere, doesn't it?
It does.
I can't blame him.
No.
But, no, so that was Believe's first game.
It was the start of what was to come.
If I remember rightly, he had a cracking clubhouse. It wasn't even a clubhouse, was it? It was like a function room.
Yeah.
It was huge.
It was nice.
I can see why they went bust.
It was like a proper big football league stand, wasn't it, that they'd got?
Oh yeah.
Was it on wheels though? Was it temporary?
The terrace was on wheels. That's now FC Night, if I remember rightly.
Right.
And then the seating stand, I don't think that was on wheels, but that was a nice stand.
Yeah.
Apart from the cracked chair.
I'm sorry, Northwich.
They'd be asking for your money on Saturday.
Don't come and see me on Saturday, I ain't got anything for you.
So we're not slowing programmes now, so...
No, that's alright.
Night in the bar.
Right, so we better look ahead.
Yeah, sorry I didn't write anything down, I couldn't find a thing about that
No,
game.
it's fine. We've talked quite a lot about it. It was a good link to Northwich. Obviously both clubs enjoying better times than they have in the last few years. Obviously, as we're both now down at FA Vase level, when we were both at FA Trophy level then. So we welcome Northwich on Saturday. Now I am really looking forward to this because to me this is going to be like the good old days of the Dragons.
Yeah, it will be.
It will be like a proper game. And yes, we're only allowed 300, but obviously the 300 bang. If you weren't on straight away, unlucky, you've lost out because they've gone. They went in less than 24 hours. Absolutely amazing support. Northwich sold all their tickets.
That's going to be a crazy thing. Away supporters.
I know.
What are we going to do? Away supporters. I haven't seen one of them for years.
I haven't seen them for a while.
Right.
They've obviously got a lot of fanatical fans. So yeah, it's another sellout again. Fair play, everyone. It's absolutely brilliant. You know, we love it. We love the fact that you can't get a ticket. Obviously, we'd like to see more, but in these rules that we're allowed, it's great that we're selling out every game.
It's money for the
club.
club.
I think you're going to get your money's worth on Saturday.
Yeah, I hope so.
This could be a humdinger because a lot of people are writing Ferriby off for this, including you. Right?
I'll explain myself later on.
But I think on our home pitch,
I haven't written
with
this off.
a fresh and ready Danny East, who's had 2 weeks off because of his ban, who will be back and raring to go, Lee Hutch getting back to fitness as well, I think we can go toe-to-toe with Northwich. Northwich, for those who don't know, are in the Premier Division, the North West equivalent, so they're the league above us, regarded as one of the better teams at this level. So people within the club and everything have said it. It's one of the toughest draws we could have got. But
Do you know how many league games they've played?
Did they play last night? Because they were supposed to start on Saturday and it got called off.
Both of their games so far have been called off. They played tonight against a team I can't remember.
They were at Charnock Richard on Saturday and it was waterlogged.
Yeah, it was called off. So they're playing tonight against some other county's Premier League team. So they haven't really had many games.
No.
And I think that could work in our favour.
Yes.
And you know what, Sam? I've sat here all week and I've been worried about this game. But you just sold me the dream.
Well, I'm so excited for it. I can't wait. No, there's no two ways about it. It's going to be a tough game, and if we're not 100% at it, then Northwich will beat us. They are a quality side. But I just think it's going to be really good at our home ground to show how good we can be.
Yeah, it's
And
an opportunity.
It is an opportunity to showcase what we can do, and if we can get through Northwich, then we shouldn't be scared of anyone in this draw. And
Apart from the Northern League.
well,
teams.
yeah, you keep saying this, but I think. I can't set it up anymore. I mean, I know I'm not trying to sell tickets because it's sold out.
Is it on Sky Sports?
Well, it should be.
I think it should get you as a hype man.
Honestly, we haven't had games like this for...
This is a sort of game that if we're still doing this podcast, or somebody else takes up a podcast in 10 years' time, this is the sort of game that we're talking about on this podcast, and on a podcast in 10 years' time.
Yeah, they're memory lane.
Yeah, it's going to be a cracking day.
It is. It's good. Let's hope the weather's alright.
Even Greeny's going.
I know.
I think we should get him on next week.
Maybe we will. I mean, if you want an hour of talking about horse race tips, then yeah.
Well, if you want anything about Chilean horse racing, you can. But we digress.
But yeah, one to really look forward to. And like we said, we've had a really bang quick start in the league. We've had loads of games, quick succession. It seems like months ago since that St Helens game. We've had that many games since then, squeezed into that.
How many we got 3 weeks ago?
Yeah,
madness.
But like you said, Ash, does that mean we're going to catch them cold? Because we've played a lot, but we're into our stride. And we've got that game minutes, game experience, but we have got a couple of players coming back. Like we say, we've got Danny East, who, let's face it, he's one of our best players. And he's had 2 weeks. So he's missed 3 games. Had 2 weeks off basically because of his ban. So he will be fresh, ready, and raring to go, and looking to prove a point.
Butcher's got 45 minutes in the tank.
Yeah.
Now hasn't he as well? So.
Yeah, and 30 last Saturday. So he's gradually building himself up. He's going to be really good. There's not a lot else I can say. I mean, I just can't wait, and I hope it's a good atmosphere. It will be because. They're bringing the 45 that they're allowed.
I bet there's more than that.
Probably, yeah.
I bet some of the Northwich fans have jumped on, which is fair play. We'd have done the same, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we would. So fair play to them, and like you say, because we haven't had that many away.
And it's 2 titans of the counties level game, isn't it?
I mean, like we said, you would not be surprised if this was a Northern Premier League game.
Well, in terms of the sizes of the clubs,
it's the fact that it's an FA Vase tie to get someone like this so early on. It just brings back memories of the FA Trophy for me.
It does, you're right.
This type of game at Ferriby is what really excites me. And, there's only a few games that really excite me in the league. And
there's not many, is there?
No.
Especially on Saturdays.
So, yeah, it's going to be great. And hopefully Ferriby progress. And I am quite confident that they will. I really think we're going to win this game. I think we're going to prove a point on Saturday. And heading into the predictions, I'm going to go first, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 North Ferriby FC victory.
Okay. So all week I've said how worried I am about this game, how tough it's going to be. It's going to be tough. We've got to keep it tight now. We can't concede in the first 20 minutes.
No.
If we concede first, I worry. Saying that, we're not going to concede.
Going for the clean sheet.
We're going to win 1-0.
1-0.
We're going to grind it.
And who's going to get it?
Ooh, good question. I think it's going to be whoever starts up front.
Right.
Okay. I don't know who's going to start up front.
No, it's difficult. So you're going to 1-0 win?
I'm going to go for 1-0. A header. There's going to be a header.
I'm going for 2-1. Obviously, it's a good point you just made there. The start will be crucial.
Yeah.
We don't want to go 1-0 down. So yeah, we look forward to seeing you all down there on Saturday.
Come and say hello this week. No one's going to say hello to me
Yeah, I'll come and give us abuse. I mean,
I shouldn't do.
We're trying not to upset too many people.
Yeah. Well, if you're upset by this, I'm sorry. I don't know what I can say. I don't know what I can say.
I think we've been quite nice to people tonight.
We have. It's because Salt's not here. He's a bad influence.
Maybe he is.
Or maybe it's because Hickey was here last week and he's put us in a bad mood, maybe.
But yeah, thanks lads for winning last night, because it made the car journey home with Jack bearable.
Oh, he spoke this time, which we hadn't heard him speak.
We were worried about him last week, weren't we, Emily?
Well, I was worried about him last night, to be fair, when he went to 3-2, he went white and he was just shouting at the referee. Oh, number 2 from Glasshoughton. Love it, mate.
Oh, yeah.
Come back to salt last night.
Yeah.
He wasn't happy. He was rattled, was salty last night when that comeback came out, but
in fairness to him, we will say we've missed him tonight. Obviously, we are a trio. It's not the same without him. We'll just have just before we go. Let's have a quick reflection. We're 7 episodes in now. I'm absolutely loving this, and I don't think we thought there'd be people watching it. There'd be people talking to us at games about it. Getting the banter on Twitter from other fans and everything. Yeah. I'm thoroughly enjoying doing it.
Yeah, no, same here. Every Wednesday night is you look forward to it when you come home from work, have your tea, do me prep, eating me tea. There's a few gravy stains on it too. And come down to Sam's house and we have a good laugh, don't we?
We do.
And people do interact with us at the game. People we don't usually talk to. So, I like that on the podcast this week, or I like that. And it's great. It's great stuff. And thank you everyone who's watching it.
Yeah, thanks to everyone, and obviously we're going to keep going with this.
Until we get banned from the ground.
Yeah, God, let's hope not. Obviously there's no midweek game next week, so we've only
feels strange only previewing one game.
So we've only got one game to preview, so we will just be back next week to hopefully talk about Ferriby progressing in the FA Vase. We look forward to seeing you on Saturday. It's going to be a great day, and we've missed you, Jack. We'll see you next week.
I hope you had a good night, Jack. See you later, guys.